Okay, we're joined by Kevin Windham here, who coulda, shoulda, woulda been a Horizon Award winner, but you were 3 years too early. They didn't have it when you were racing.
Did not have the Horizon. I don't believe.
No, 97 I think is when it started. Your year was 94 here.
94, yeah.
94.
Yep.
But to be honest, looking at you now, if they showed kids a picture of you then,
Wouldn't get it. They wouldn't get it.
You've done everything you can to make it tough on them to guess.
Well, had I known, speaking of how tough I make it, if I would have known we'd have been on TV tonight, I would have got a beard trim.
I think it looks great.
Looks
I think it's
good.
a cool look.
Yeah,
Solid look.
Forrest Gump, like it.
The Horizon Award, yeah, it didn't exist when you were here, but you did have one of the greatest runs ever to end your career. 3 years in a row, you didn't lose a moto at Loretta's. What did that mean at the time? Were you just like, hey man, whatever, I'm just here to turn pro? Or was it a big deal for you to have that success?
I don't think it. I really realized the weight and the gravity of that situation, and I also don't really recall coming into this event with like just a locked in pro career. You know, I mean, it was
What?
the Yami deal came together pretty last minute, and of course, back in those days, there was no Horizon, there was no Combine, there was no Next, there was none of that cool stuff. We weren't going to Europe, you know, the opportunity for the kids today and the elevation of the sport, you know, all the way from the shaft drive classes that we've been calling, all the way up to you know, the age group classes.
Yeah.
The cool down zone. There's so much, and the Riders Lounge, the Monster Energy Riders Lounge.
Yeah.
Man, it almost makes you want to relive it again, but my
Careful.
mind and my body don't they're
Yeah.
not on the same page anymore.
I got a question for you. So, what kind of training were you doing back in the day before you were coming to Loretta's?
Oh, absolutely none.
Like, were you
None.
trying it? Were you like at the
None.
local track doing motos with your dad? Like, nothing.
So honestly, racing in the 80s and into the 90s there, it was just an every weekend thing. Like there were no training facilities. Got a little bit of a glare on this picture here. That guy right there is
That's
the
your
one.
boy.
That's the one that changed the game.
Yeah.
You know, before him, you know, professional athletes and others, you could go out and you drink a beer, I drink a beer, we're good.
Yeah.
It's on a level playing field. and this guy changed the game, and it's evolved all the way into, you know, the amateur ranks, and now having a facility and seeing what the kids are doing as amateurs now, it honestly mimics a lot of what I did as a professional. So the game is definitely elevated now.
And would you say that some people are naturally gifted on motorcycles?
I would say that I am naturally gifted on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
If I would have had, you know, I wish I could do it again. You know, there's everyone. It's an interesting part of my journey through preparation for this event here and having Vurbmoto and, you know, dealing with James a little bit and some others. The mental challenges are always there for every rider. And we were talking about Jake Weimer coming back here. He's been a pro at the highest level, won a championship.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he comes to Loretta's and, you know, the question is he nervous? Well, heck yeah, he's nervous. Yeah, everybody's nervous. I want to win a race anywhere you want to go, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so the nerves are going to be with you if you really want to win on any platform. Of course, they're elevated here at Loretta's. But, yeah, the game is elevated, and it's probably thanks to this guy right here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It is weird, though, that mental thing. Yeah, I was only finding out recently that James Stewart, he talks about confidence all the time. I'm like, bro, confidence.
Crazy.
How did you ever, every race you ever lined up for, everyone thought you were going to win. He was holding the cards close to the vest and trying to make it seem like he always felt that way. But if he felt like that, I guess everybody.
I know I did, and I know a lot of the riders that I work with do, and you see the nerves catch some of the riders at times, and it's part of why the riders, you know, play their cards so close. It's very hard. You're in the industry. You're in the business. Get an injury report. You know, get a report on how things are going in their life, and they hold their cards close, and that's why. Because I think that the house of cards may fall at any moment if too much information gets out.
Well, to me, it looks like a lot of these guys have similar speeds. Like, a lot of these kids have very equal speeds, but then there's a mental edge to one or two or three of the guys that separates them from that whole gate full of riders.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've been calling now almost through second motos. Now we've been calling a lot of races, and there's been a lot of flip-flopping. So all of the riders, most of the riders have a chance, and there's a lot of back and forth and first and 10th, and actually even some 30s and first. And so it's been back and forth, and so it does take a special person to put all of the pieces of the puzzle together at the same time. That's what makes the champions, and only one can be a champion per class. So obviously that shows how extremely tough that it is.
But you had a team green rod. You didn't have anything for the pros, but you were winning here. So did you think in the rudimentary way that there really wasn't any training that thing? Did you think like, no, I'm prepared, I'm ready? Did you even think of the word ready or prepared or anything? Or do you just literally show up and still expect to win?
We're going to jump right into the pro career, right? So my first race, a lot of people think that it's Mount Morris.
Yes.
So I led Mount Morris for quite a while. I got passed on the last lap by, that was Doug Henry.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
You guys were wearing the insane looking Fox gear. It was retro. I'm not sure retro from what year, you know?
I think it was the original 74.
It's like yellow, orange, retro. I'm not sure what.
74,
the cowboy hat Fox
one.
Ad era.
Yeah, it was just insane. I'm looking at the guy going, God, he looks awesome. That gear's hot. And led it to the last lap. He passed me, and everybody's like, man, that's a great first ride. Well, the reason people think that was my first ride is because I stunk it up so bad at Gatorback, no one even knew I was there. So technically that was my second race, but it was definitely a breakthrough performance. That was one of my last rides there on the Cowie before we jumped over to the Yami.
Whoa. But you came to Loretta's wanting to win, expecting to win, feeling some of the pressure and nerves to win, despite the fact that you said you weren't training at all. Or do you still feel you were? Or was the racing on weekends?
Every weekend. No, that's what I'm saying. Every weekend we race.
So it wasn't prepared in the way we think of prepared now. Today. But it wasn't like you didn't feel like you were prepared at what we knew at the time.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes. At the time, that's like, I raced every weekend. I'm good.
You're good, yeah. I mean, obviously the motos are a little bit longer, but you're not working into anything because nothing ever slides back, right? It's just a consistent
racing
trajectory, coming to the biggest race of the year here.
You have your own complex now, Farm 14.
Yeah.
Do you talk about that balance between getting some racing in versus, I know there are huge advantages to be able to work drills, sections, and your own schedule. That's huge. Do you talk about racing too?
Yeah. So we do, and obviously, for having a facility, I want the best for my kids, and a lot of times that's to not be there. Yeah. But I do find that there's a handful of races, right? So you got your spring nationals, obviously, and you got Mini-O's, and you got Ponca.
Yeah.
You got regionals, but other than that, like when we do go race and we pick just a random race, and hopefully that's the one thing good about my area. I live in a very remote area, but it's in Mississippi. Well, Texas is only 7 hours that way, and Florida is only 7 hours that way. I'm 6 from here. You can get to Oklahoma, and you can get to some really good racing in a pretty short drive.
Yeah.
Much further from Texas or Florida.
Yes.
There I am trying to do my sales pitch. But anyway, when I go to a normal local race and I bring the farm, like it's a farm podium, like it's just farm racing farm.
Yeah.
So you don't. The trick is to get yourself to be able to control your mind when you're in this intense, heavy environment. But how do you do it when that environment only exists 5 or 6 times per year? They're already racing those anyway.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And if they go to a local, what are they getting out of it? They're racing
racing
same
each other.
dudes that they would have at the farm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think everyone misses the local racing thing, and they kind of romanticize what you get out of that. And I'm like, look, when the local fast guy shows up, he's winning every moto by 30 seconds anyway. I don't know how much he's getting out of the gate drops as much as we wish.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you would love to be able to duplicate the situation, but it's just not possible.
No, and it's just a better mousetrap.
Yeah. I think that's also where kind of you shine from within some of these guys. Like it really shows. Like even Maddox Timmerman, I haven't had much time to talk to him, and he seems like kind of a shy, timid kid. But then once he gets the helmet on and he's out there on the track, it's like
different cat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, motorcycles are very self-expressive, and it's super cool to see that. The rider on the track and then get to know them off the track, and some kids have that extra grit inside of them, and they just can really lay it down on the track.
And just being transparent, like I'm an X and O kind of guy, right? Like go here, do this, read it that way, let's try, like, and I don't force my particular body position or how I would go through the corner, but I do request that you at least give it a good whirl, right? Okay. Been around a few times, give it a little bit of a whirl, give it a try. Of course, that's naturally going to not feel great when you've been doing one thing a certain way for a very long time, but still stick with it. Give me a chance.
Yeah.
And so, we take that approach of trying to get them, to think about things a little bit different. But with all that being said, what I think the biggest part of the equation, I have not found a way to give it to them. Like, are they a counterpuncher? if they get past, are they going to fight back one corner later and slam the door? I don't know if any facility does that. And some of them, maybe they do. Maybe I'm missing the mark on this, but some of them have that inner desire in them, and that it's a win or go home kind of deal. And they are going to be. We saw several races today where I thought the guy in the lead was getting so much pressure they were going to have to give it up, and they fought like crazy and slammed doors and kicked and screamed and yelled and got wide and did what they had to do, and they come across with the win.
Yeah, we were impressed. There were some races late yesterday that were phenomenal, and a lot of it was because it looked inevitable that someone was going to make a pass, and they couldn't get it.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, now he's back on his heels because he got surprised that he didn't make the pass. All these little mental battles that take place in a moto.
They start when you leave the truck,
and
they end when you get under the tent, right? Actually, they go through the podium speech sometimes. So
that's part of it.
Yeah, it can be.
Dude, I don't know if you remember this, but way back in the day, I'm going to get to you and Reedy because you guys were hanging out all day in the tower.
Yeah.
But you said one time when you guys were really hot battling for a Supercross title, you said in the press conference, like, I'm going to be careful what I say because I see Chad Reed's trainer back there taking notes and writing down. You remember this?
I do remember that. And so he's in the back and he's got his pen and paper and he's writing notes. And when I say that, he does this. Quits writing, looks at me, just makes straight eye contact. And I'm like, I see you, dude. Like, I know what's going on. Like, we're going to analyze every aspect of not only what you do, but what your competitors do.
So, yeah, you're looking at quotes. You're reading their face on the podium. You're looking for everything.
It all has a part to play in the battle.
Yeah. See, we just think we're like bench racing and probably over-dramatizing things, but you're doing the same thing. You're thinking of every angle.
Yeah, I mean, you try to. I mean, I obviously... at the end of the day, the gate drops, you get a good start, you try to go win. But it's such a bigger chess match, right? I mean, it's not checkers at all, and there's many moves to be made. And living in that experience and then growing from it, it's so funny that you watch a guy that's super seasoned, like late into his career in round 12, and he's like, we learned a lot today. And I'm like, okay. But when you really break it down on that level, they probably did learn some things that day, you know?
Yeah.
So he's hanging out with Chad, and I know it was not good between you and Chad in 2008, say, when you're battling for the title.
Yeah, it was a tough pill to swallow.
Yes. Yeah. No, I've seen this happen multiple times. I was just hanging out with Chad and James Stewart, who also didn't like each other.
They had a tough go.
Just at Washougal, they were hanging out. So is this surprising to you, or is this so long ago where it feels totally normal to be hanging out with him? How does that change through the years?
I mean, it changes a lot, obviously. I mean, we're all in different phases of life. He's obviously racing with, he's a moto dad now.
Yeah.
I've just become a grandparent, so that's super cool. And grandson is here, River. So send a shout out to him here at Loretta Lynn's ranch. It's his first opportunity. He took advantage and came to the ranch at 2 months old.
Was he racing out there?
That was not racing yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But you in the moment, like, man, it's the glory, it's the trophy, it's a multi-million-dollar check that's just gone, and so it's a lot on the line. But it goes, it mellows out. I never got the big bike title, which is it hurts. Obviously, I got some little bike championships, and I had a really great relationship with my fans and the industry, and the relationships that still carry on to this ranch here today. I wish I was a few $1 million richer, to be honest with you. A couple more trophies, but
it's interesting as a fan of motocross, though, how we love the guys who are winning the titles. Some people actually don't like the guys that are winning the titles. Once they've won so many of them, you get to a point where, as a fan, you're like, God, he won again. Having a personality, though, kind of like yourself, that was you stuck out. I feel like you were one of the first to really bring a really charismatic personality, and I don't know, you're just a likable guy, K-Dub.
Hey, thank you, bro.
Real person.
I appreciate it. And look, I've had the opportunity to watch this thing grow from McGrath, and he was that guy and more, right?
Yeah.
Fro had a lot of fun and did some great things along the way as well, and then
absolutely,
it slides into a little bit more corporate business. I think Deegan is a guy that is kind of changing the script a little bit and going back to able to do some cool things outside of the robotic kind of corporate deal. So I think that'll play out well for him. And then we got a very interesting battle that's kind of already starting to form for 2026. I see us already talking points on that deal.
Yep.
So I think we got an opportunity to really blast it into there. But I also think the sport and the riders' pocketbooks would benefit from kind of letting their hair down a little bit. You might not be able to do some of the things we did back in the 90s, but give it a whirl, boys.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Didn't have those cell phones back then. That was a big difference.
Was a big thing.
Big line in the sand. I mean, it even used to get crazy here at Loretta's when you guys would come back. You guys would have some fun during the break, sign some autographs, but that stuff's not going to be allowed anymore because everyone would be shooting it. That's the unfortunate part.
That's very unfortunate.
Yes, it's over.
I have one other Loretta's question for you.
Yeah.
Love it.
Have you ever done a heel clicker here at Loretta's Lynn?
I have not.
Okay, because I mean, seeing a fist pump, I forgot who fist pumped earlier, but even seeing a fist pump to me is like,
kind of cool.
Kind of cool, risky nowadays, but hey, I like to see it. I like to see the emotion when these kids are actually super pumped like that to win. And
yeah, I mean, so now the classic is the rev, right? And the kids are pumping the fist when they go across. That's cool. They're super excited. The Timmerman scrub here.
Yeah.
That was like style check 101 right there. So that was really nice. But yeah, it'd be super cool. Now, in the riders' defense today, heel clickers aren't cool anymore. So now you got to do like 10 backflips down the 10 Commandments. That's kind of where we're at in the progression of the freestyle. I mean, you got an incredible show last night where all the guys put on a fantastic freestyle show. But I don't know if you do that through the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, Travis Pastrana probably could, but that's about it. I would say.
Yeah. Well, I have seen him try to flip Daytona, fail, and I have also been right behind him when he tried to flip the 2018 Motocross the Nations up there at Redbud, and also a fail. Yeah. So there you go.
A for effort, though.
A for effort, and he got many more fans. Not that he needs more fans. He's a very likable guy, but I've seen 2 fails, and sometimes failing is not bad, right?
Very true.
I feel like we often say, "Oh, it's tough on KW. He had to race McGrath and he had to race RC, and that was tough." But you were teammates with Pastrana. You also raced in a pretty cool time.
It was a great time.
You did get to race in a pretty cool time. The stuff you saw is, like we're almost saying, some stuff we might never see again.
I got to race against the best of the bunch, and I say that without any disrespect. Look, I wouldn't win against Jett, he's killing it. I probably won't win against Deegan. I'll beat him a time or two. Yep. Let me get the stars aligned. Let me get my A game going, and I could beat anybody.
Yep, and you did.
But to beat them for the amount of time that it would take to get a championship, I just look, man. Here's a quick story, if you don't mind.
I love it.
So I have a C guy on the line, and he won the first moto. So I go up for his second moto, and I look at his helmet. I'm actually having to push his bike because his dad forgot his credential. So I'm like, okay, let me push your bike in here. I'm start looking at the dude's helmet, dirty. Okay, you just won. You haven't rode for a day. Your helmet's dirty. I look through his goggles. It's the same tear-offs, and dirt is underneath all 4 of his tear-offs. And he goes out and has a great moto. I say all that only to say that, like, when you get to the pro level, you can tune yourself into a corner. Carmichael could haul butt with a flat tire.
Yeah.
I felt like if I was a mil off on some random setting, it just ruined my day. And that was like, that's a tough place to be, where you need perfection from the motorcycle point. And that's where I enjoy to ride today. Like, I get on everybody's bike, anybody's bike. I don't care where your sag set or where your bars are or what brand it is. Yeah. I'll go out there and rip on it, and it's a lot more enjoyable, right? So I wish I'd have had that approach a little bit more in my professional career. But I did race some amazing talent, and but it's still out there today. And the trick is, for the Reeds and me and Mike LaRocco, I mean, when you do 20 years, of course you're going to cross some bad dudes, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but Pastrana's a pretty unique one.
Very. They broke the mold with that guy.
Exactly. We probably will never see anything like it. You were his teammate. I got to imagine you saw some stuff, and you probably did some stuff too at his track, your track in California. I mean, I heard he used to backflip like ridiculous things on a supercross track.
Yeah, he was. We did a lot of play riding. I mean, and it helped. Yeah. I mean, every pretty infamous heat race we had where we were cutting up and looking at each other and stuff. So that was a lot of fun. We did have a great time. Unfortunately for me, at that era of my life, I was going through my first real bout with burnout, and things got tough, and it came in the way of a broken femur, which was a huge blessing for me.
Oh yeah, you were on a run that year too.
Yeah, run to the hospital. and then the hiatus.
Yeah.
I needed a hiatus.
But back to what you're saying about Pastrana, there will never be another one. But then it's so weird to remember that Danger Boy backflipped his motorcycle when he was like 9 years old or 10 years old. So I know he's not out there backflipping right now, but that dude, I mean, he's special. That kid's got something.
Yeah, he does.
And
to that point, I actually have seen him talk about my transfers. So
here's
an open invite, Deegs. Like it's
you will pass the torch.
Well, I mean, it's not mine to pass, but
I feel like it is.
He's talked
no
about
one's
it.
done it.
Hey, if for anyone that has not seen those, go on YouTube right now, search Kevin Windham transfers, because I was at my buddy Zach's house. He was showing me some, and they're aging like fine wine. I've seen those are massive. Some of them are so messed up.
They got scary,
dude. Yeah, and
they got scary.
Man, you're so high in some of those. It's ridiculous. And the fact that was like the halftime show or the intro
opening ceremony.
Yeah, and you're doing it in the dark with the spotlight. I'm like, this dude.
So that was like choreographed. Like I went and met on Thursday, and I met with the light guys. I met with the pyro guys. You know, you had to make sure you had to meet with the track builders, had to make sure the tough blocks were moved, and the guys running the spotlights were the key, right?
Oh man,
I needed a little bit of light to see kind of somewhat of a face, but they couldn't be in your eyes because then you go completely blind. And the way I would do it was just pick, like if it's a Lucas Oil stadium or this stadium or that stadium, I'm going for the L.
What?
And I knew that I had to start here and I had to end there and I had to be in this gear with this RPM. And past that, you don't have a lot to go off of.
Yeah. Hey, I'll bet the light guy's up there with a Grateful Dead shirt on and a ponytail, and he's just like, I got this. And you just, boom, your life is in the hands
beer
of,
in one hand, the light in the other. You don't need two hands to operate this thing. Heck
For
no.
sure, that was the light guy. You didn't even know you were risking your life with the light guy.
Yep. Well, we got it all. Well, we almost got them all done. Had a major spill on a transfer one time, so that sealed the deal. Yeah. Recently went to Birmingham Supercross, and I got a wild hair, like I'm going to go out there and do one. Dave Prater called my wife Dottie, and that somehow got vetoed very quickly.
Shocking. Yeah, you got out alive once. And do this again. Yeah. But since no one's done it in 12 years or whatever now, I almost feel like you would need to put it out there like you just did.
I think we did. I think we just put it out there.
There we go. Okay.
Of course it's okay, and it was fun watching Deegan's clip that he did. I'm not sure what social media platform or his channel, or I don't know. I'm 47 years old, dude.
MySpace, YouTube, the whole thing.
He put that thing out on my page, and it was just
my page and the face thing,
whatever
the
face
that's
page.
called. Face page. I'm pretty sure it's face
but
page. But
there we go, Deeks. That would be great.
Take the mantle. It'd be great. But challenging, more challenging than it looks.
And also, he's got a lot of stuff going on and some championships to win, so I don't know if I would risk it just yet.
Yeah.
Wait till you're old and kind of riding this thing out on your end of your career, maybe. We got to see a battle with him and Jett next year.
I mean, we mean no disrespect to anybody else on the track, but a lot of people are pumped on that.
Well, I mean, what do you mean we don't mean any disrespect? I mean, we need somebody to get up in there and challenge this boy.
Good for the sport.
And I know Sexton won last week, so that's where the no disrespect comes in. Sexton was here, and
I'm on my page. I got to be careful what I say.
I understand. I'm not on any, but it was good to see what Sexton did. So you're right. That was a low blow, and Sexton can.
Many other riders every weekend. 12 guys can win.
Could be Enzo Timmerman in a couple years.
Well, I love the fact that Timmerman's sitting here going, I don't know what I'm doing next week.
Wow.
Okay.
Dude. Yeah.
I mean, that's a big ask. Like, is it combine? Is it pro? I mean, that's kind of crazy. So, but what a talent, and has the legs, I think, to go the distance, whether he's in combine race or the big show.
Yeah.
And you've watched this year. You've been to all the races, obviously. But I've been to 3, and I've watched Enzo at 3 of them, and I've seen him out there battling with some fast guys in the 250 class, and it's so noticeable too on the track for the dude. He's very tall, so he's easy to spot out there on the track.
Yes. I just think there's an intimidation factor that has to go away. He did a couple nationals. It's got to make a difference. Because you did that High Point breakout was before you raced here, right?
It was, yeah. I did a few races before I came here.
It's got to give you a little edge of like, hey, this isn't as big a deal. I just lined up against Doug Henry.
It does, of course, yeah. At that point.
Yes.
I think once he can grow a beard like K-Dub, that's when the competition's going to
try that,
be
Deeks.
super nervous.
Try that, Deeks.
Yeah.
Kevin Windham, thanks for stopping by.